Christian. There are some of you that need to pick your head up this morning to look toward the heavens from whence cometh your help and realize that God did not wake up Wednesday morning and say, well, I didn't expect that to happen. God has got it under control. You need to know this morning, you don't need to despair. You don't need to be despondent. And I'm going to tell you something that's going to surprise you this morning, but I believe this with all my heart. I believe right now, today, in November of 2012, November 11th, 2012, I believe this is the greatest moment that the church has ever known. I believe this is our moment. Let me show you why I say that. You're going to think I'm chasing a rabbit, but I won't chase it too far, and it'll come back home for long. I like to go to the movies. I don't go to the movies very much because you got a family big as mine. You have to mortgage the house to go to the movies anymore. If you go to Montgomery or Mobile, Tuscaloosa, wherever, it costs you $9 or $10 a ticket just to get in the door. And once you get in the door, then you got to buy you something to eat, something to drink. That's what kills you, because you get a Coke that would cost you $1.50 anywhere, cost you $8 at the movie. And a box of popcorn that would cost you 75 cents, cost you $6 at the movies. And it's unbelievable. And if you were to go anywhere else, and they were to try to charge you $8 for that Coke or $6 for that popcorn, you'd tell them they were crazy and you'd go somewhere else. But you go in that movie theater, and if you're going to eat in that movie theater, you're going to pay that money, unless you sneak it in the diaper bag. We could do that when we had babies. We can't do that no more. But unless you pilfer it in somehow or another, you've got to pay it. Why? Because you've got to have something to eat, something to drink. That's the only place you can get it from. You have a demand, and they've got the only supply. You see it all the time. You go to a Braves game or a college football game, and you get thirsty. I mean, they charge outrageous prices, because if you want it, you got to get it for them. You go to Six Flags, and you walk around Six Flags, they'll charge you $10 for a Coke, and you might think, I wouldn't pay $10 for a Coke. Let me tell you. You walk around in that 105-degree temperature with that sun shining and bearing down on that black asphalt, you'll get so thirsty that you just throw your firstborn child up there and ask for something to drink. You don't care. You'll pay it, I guarantee you, because you have a demand and they have the only supply. What I'm trying to say to you is, things that you would not be willing to listen to on normal circumstances, a price that you would not normally be willing to pay, when the supply and demand gets exactly right, all of a sudden you're willing to listen where you wouldn't have been before. Listen to me. The world today is demanding something that only the church can supply. They are looking for consistency. They are looking for confidence. They are looking for a steady and even hand in uneasy times. And let me tell you, they're looking for Jesus. They're looking for what only we can produce. And I'm telling you, we've never had a greater stage from which to stand and proclaim that Jesus is the answer to every problem. Listen, Christian, this is no time to shrink back in despair and discouragement. This is time to stand up on your back legs and say to a world that's dying to hear it, that God's alive and Jesus saves this morning. This is a good day for the church.